Tonight's episode of the Sunday Night Talk is up. It is ready. It is week 16 in the NFL. That's right. We've been at it 16 weeks. It's Christmas week as well, so me and Omar dissect our own individual Christmases. And as you see, it's a special edition, special location show this Sunday night on the Talk. So listen in. Before we get to the show, though, however, I have a new clip up, new stand-up of me on my page. A show I did last week that was really fun, put on by Mike Perkins, a guy who's been on my other show, running it back a couple times. Puts on a great late night show, and I was on it. I was the comic on it, so go there. You can check out my new clip, see me doing stand-up comedy. Now, on to the Sunday Night Talk. Omar is here. I am here. We do a special edition Christmas Awards. We talk winners and losers, must-watches, must-misses. I throw out a bevy of NFL ideas, some half-baked, some fully thought out, and a very special challenge. I really test Omar's home team knowledge. You'll see what that challenge is all about right here on the Sunday Night Talk. How was your Christmas? Did your team win? Did your team lose? Were you totally checked out? Oh, by the way, you're going to want to listen to the franchise one-year deal, send to the practice squad segment as well. I think you'll find it very prominent this time of year. So, on to the show. Week 16 in the NFL. Here is me and Omar. Check it out. All right, it is Sunday night. The Sunday Night Talk is here. After a week off, we're back. Omar Carmona is there in the man cave. Patrick Ramirez, I'm here in my parents' house recording this from a studio I made out of my brother's bedroom. So it's a real throwback this week, Omar.
It really is.
8:49 Mountain Time this week. As a note, I think this is the earliest we've ever started the Sunday Night Talk because the Sunday night game is not even done with the third quarter.
The game's over. The game was over sometime beginning late first quarter, beginning second quarter.
It was over about, let's see, the second verse into Carrie Underwood's intro.
Ooh,
I feel like Parsons made the pick through when the song wasn't even over.
Well, it's the third quarter. The reserves are in. Okay, so that's how bad it is right now.
You know what's weird about a blowout game? You start having a lot of thoughts outside of the game itself. Like, when should the backups come in? How should you save your players? What are the pluses and minuses of the mercy rule? What exactly is good garbage time? You start having a lot of different thoughts other than football gameplay. I came into this game with, number one, the Dallas D is good. Number two, the day after Christmas football game is really, really fun and something to get excited about.
It is. It's a great weekend. But because we're also in the heat of the playoff race, and doesn't it feel like every game right now is like a playoff game for a lot of these teams?
Right. Yeah, the playoffs are shaking up, and we're week 16. We still got a whole week to go next week too.
Right.
So now that the actual Christmas holiday is over, I'm a little full, I'm bloated, I'm a little hungover, and then you just have the day after the 26th to somewhat decompress, and then you get to watch a Sunday full of football. So the day after Christmas football game, I got to say I'm a big fan of. I'll take it. Also, we live in a mountain climate, so it's not like we can't go outside.
Right.
Yeah, so we don't have to huddle up indoors or anything. So we've been out and about. And the fact that you can just hang in your house all day and watch sports. December 26th, you said it, December football. Good time to have football.
It's crazy. And now the reserves just hit like a 60-yard play on Washington. It's bad. Let's just get it over with.
Let's speed through this Dallas game. Go ahead, your thoughts.
Whooped their butts. This is a statement game. It's not so much that it's Washington. I think we could all agree that Dallas should win this football game.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. It was my mom. My mom came in. Are you going to come say hi, Mom?
Where do I go?
Hi.
Hi, Omar.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Very well.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
I've got a couple of bags under the tree for you.
Oh,
I'll drop
good.
them off at some point.
We'll talk soon.
Did you watch the Sunday night game today, Mom?
It was at the Dallas game
Yeah, it was a Dallas game.
for 10 minutes.
That was it?
I just walked through the room and it was like a slaughter.
Okay.
So that's all I got.
No thoughts on the game?
No.
Were you happy for...
Happy for Dallas.
Dallas?
It was predicted, right?
Yeah, I guess so. Well, me and Omar were saying it's such a bad game that
It
we
was.
gave up on watching it halfway through.
I went and ate cookies.
I watched Yellowstone.
All right, I'm out of here. Bye.
All right, Mom's leaving. All right, don't worry. We'll cut all that out. Go ahead. Continue your Dallas Cowboy.
Well, they should have
Washington
won.
Redskins.
They should have won. But I think this is definitely, they're sending a message to everyone out there right now. We lost to Tampa in the opener, but we're still here. We ran away with the division, and we're going to get a home game, and we're a team to beat. So I think that Dallas is looking like a very scary team with very few weaknesses.
Here's the only thoughts I had on the game watching it. Can Dak and the Cowboys attribute their recent success to having the right sleep number? Dak Prescott is the pitch man for the mattresses. He always says he has the right sleep number, so maybe they got the right number dialed. And by the way, if you're a quarterback, you know how you always give a pretty nice present to your linemen for Christmas and stuff?
Yeah.
Well, if you endorse or a company endorses you or you endorse a company, you just give them the product that you are associated with.
Right.
That's got to be a huge financial burden lifted from you. Secondly, I liked when the Washington defenders got in a full-on fist fight on the sideline.
Yep. Former college teammates. So that was
I saw that. So they got some history, some drama history that I liked. That was an added bonus to the game that was pretty dull. And then, you know how Al Michaels takes off, a couple games during the year. Michelle Tavoya takes off a couple games during the year. Can Al Michaels just leave a game early? What if he says, like, Chris, I've had enough of this game. You take over. And then he just leaves the game.
Right.
That would be pretty good. And then lastly, I was surprised to find out they're doing all the Parsons, Lawrence Taylor connections. And Parsons is the same height and weight of Lawrence Taylor. That blew my mind. So
That is crazy. That is crazy. But hey, he's drawing the comparison. So good for him.
Yeah. I think statement game. Best thing to happen to Dallas is they have a big statement game. All right, enough of that game. We already milked the clock enough with that crazy game. Let's go week 16 in the NFL. I got headlines. Number one, headlines are playoff picture is looking more and more clear. Winners of the week, Tampa Bay, Green Bay, Indianapolis are my top dogs. In trouble of the week, New England, Baltimore, Cleveland were my in trouble teams.
I'll throw you Arizona in there too.
Oh, that's a good one.
They're losing some games in a row. Baltimore and Arizona are the teams that were sitting pretty for quite some time. New England too. I think these teams, each in their conference had, were at some point in time the number one seed, and now they've slowly dropped back. And to add the team is now looking better, Buffalo is now the first in the AFC East. So it's tight.
Definitely in my must-watch was that Buffalo-New England game, which we'll get into. How did you handle the Niners loss on the 23rd?
Not well. Patrick, this was all Jimmy G. This was all. Did you see the story out of San Francisco the next day? Is that John Lynch was with his family, and I guess he liked something on Twitter. That said,
I saw that story, but I don't know it. What did he like that got him in trouble?
Somebody posted a photo of a guy like outside an airplane, and it said, "This is Jimmy G trying to, being left by the team in Nashville." and apparently John Lynch liked it on accident.
I don't even think an apology is needed.
Here's the thing. So was he checking text messages during church? I mean, that's the big story here.
That's true. I had to go to church on Christmas Eve with my family, And at some point, I'm texting other members of my family during church. And then it dawned on me, like, am I live tweeting church right now?
Right.
Because I'm texting little details of who I see here and like how's it going and how long it's taking for the song to finish and stuff. I'm like, I think I just live tweeted mass.
That's awesome.
I can't blame John Lynch. We've all accidentally liked the posts and tweets. It's so easy to like a post that I'll never blame him. You know what? I watched that San Francisco game in an airport, and I forgot how much a football game in an airport was a big deal. Like, we all have the games on our phones now, but remember a long time ago when the game would be on at the airport and you would see people getting off a plane and rushing to a television screen.
Right.
So they could see where the game was at, what the score was at. You would see people huddled around the TV before their plane took off. So I missed the airport football game watching when everybody would cheer and would have to rush over to the one television screen by the airport bar. Okay, let's go must-watches. Must-watches of the week. I had two must-watches. I had Buffalo, New England, and oddly enough, I watched, this wasn't a much must-watch, although I ended up watching it. I watched New York Giants and Philadelphia. I watched the whole game. I don't know why. I have no idea why I watched it. But let's start with Buffalo at New England. This is the rematch game. Somehow, Romo and Nance did not get this game to announce. They got one of the worst games of the day. They got the KC game.
I know, and I just thought that the division matchup for number one was more compelling.
Very surprised.
I did not like the choice, Kansas City and Seattle. I thought that was going to be a blowout from the beginning, and it was.
Yeah.
I figured that. Yeah. So that was the primetime match. Let's talk about that one. Wow. When Buffalo wants to play, they play some good football.
They really do. It's a rematch from the 3-pass New England game. And Buffalo loves fourth down, I think. They go for it on fourth down, they don't get a touchdown. They go for it on fourth down, they do get a touchdown. They just love fourth down. They don't care. They don't care for some reason. The Buffalo kicker wears eye black. This vexed me for some reason. And not only does the Buffalo kicker wear eye black, he only wears it under one eye. I can't figure this guy out. What happened to eye black? Number one, I don't even know what eye black does on a sunny day. And I don't know why the kicker has to wear it under one eye either. All that being said, even though Buffalo is in pretty firm handle of this whole game, Patriots are still hanging around. They're hanging around. They're down by 6 at one point, I think. And they're a third down stop away from getting the ball back. So they were never in this game, and yet they had a shot at it. And then lastly, CBS did a thing coming out of a commercial where they did a retrospective of Bill Belichick throughout the years, just still images. And I have to ask, when are we going to get to the point where we start calling Bill Belichick a fashion icon? We've got his early days. He's got the shaggy hair. He's got the big collar. Then we have the 80s. He's got the starter jacket. Into the 90s, he's got the cool Patriots gear. And then he turns into full-on hoodie Bill Belichick. So maybe we don't give him enough credit for his fashion style over the years.
Did you see the female reporter asking him, hey, football aside, I'm doing a story on New Year's resolutions. What is yours?
I thought that was a joke. Was that real?
That was real. And he's just like, I'm not answering that, man. And then I don't blame him for, what the hell is that?
If you're a reporter doing a press conference, there almost should be a college level class on how to ask Bill Belichick a question. Because if you're going to ask a silly question, you're just not going to get a response. You need to think of a question that he will respond to. So I don't know what that reporter thought they were going to get a response to. I thought it was a joke, but that was real apparently. What do you think Bill Belichick's New Year's resolutions are? Do you think he has any?
I think he just tries to review the 52 players he has in his locker. I think he just asked that they turn theirs into him so he can review them.
Oh, that's good. He'd asked them to give him their resolutions. Yeah. Bill Belichick. So the Bills are in the driver's seat. Must misses. I got 2. London game number 1, Detroit at Atlanta.
That was a London game. Jets Jaguars was a London game.
That was my London game number 2. And then we had some we could throw in later due to the score. But, okay, I have a thought for Detroit. I'm going to call this the 0-10 rule. Anytime a team gets to 0-10, any team that loses to that team afterwards, the coach is automatically fired. That's the 0-10 rule. If you lose to an 0-10 team, you're automatically fired.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
0-10 rule, right? Right. You got to get up for the game.
That's one of your better suggestions for the year.
Yep. Also, I don't know if you noticed this. That game was over, final, done with at 1:34 Mountain Time. That game was over in like 2 hours, 45 minutes.
Yeah.
It was done. And then Jacksonville Jets was my London game number 2, which actually was a good game. Score-wise.
Not a bad game.
Interesting.
It was actually went down a goal line stop, didn't it? And a questionable call. I don't know if you saw the end, but Trevor Lawrence spiked the ball when he had he could have still run a play, throw it away if you don't like it, but he could have run a play. So I think definitely some inexperience caught up to him there.
Yeah, this was I gave it the London game, but however, this was pretty fun. Battle of the rookie QBs. And then I have this idea. It's time for my long-term plan. Okay, stick with me on this one. Next year, Las Vegas needs a coach. So I say we hire either Eric Bieniemy or that young Dallas offensive coordinator guy. Say we hire him. Okay, another year goes by of Carr, mediocre play, and now Jacksonville is ready to deal Trevor Lawrence. We pick up Trevor Lawrence, thus reuniting Hunter Renfrow and Trevor Lawrence, old Clemson teammates, onto the Las Vegas Raiders. Now, as we saw tonight, sometimes college teammates in the pros sometimes throw punches at each other on the sideline. I don't think this happens with these two guys.
I think Hunter Renfrow would probably throw a punch at Mike Davis if Trevor Lawrence is his quarterback.
Oh, come on. No love for Trevor Lawrence?
No love.
Oh, come on. Why not?
No love.
Why? He's gotten a pass all year for this bad play. He's the rookie quarterback, number 1 pick.
I do. You know what? I should take that back. I do appreciate the fact that Trevor Lawrence called out his coach, Urban Meyer, for not playing James Robinson, who got hurt today and probably missing the rest of the year. But I did appreciate that he did call out his coach as a rookie, saying, "Hey, man, we need this guy on the field." And
also, yeah, no worse indictment than Trevor Lawrence, who is like a crazy religious guy, says, "Fuck it, I don't like this guy. I'm talking about him.
I don't like this guy." Yeah,
Urban Meyer, bad.
This guy is an asshole.
Yeah, Urban Meyer did not have a good run in the NFL. Didn't even make it one season. Jeez, that was bad. Other games. I'm going to give you my 2 cents on these other games. Baltimore at Cincinnati. Are you like me? Are you tired of trying to figure out if either of these teams are good? It seems like every week we have to redecide if Baltimore's good, if Cincinnati's good. Cincinnati went full on million fantasy points on them, killed them. So now Cincinnati's in the driver's seat. Joe Burrow's looking like the reincarnation of Joe Montana out there.
And how bad does Baker Mayfield look?
Oh, we haven't even talked the Christmas games.
Oh, that game was, the games that were played was we just saw some just teams doing things that will not work in the playoffs. San Francisco playing like that on Thursday night will not get a playoff win if they win. Okay, they just can't. Jimmy G being so careless with the ball. Baker Mayfield 4 interceptions. Arguably, maybe 1 wasn't on him, but that was 3 bad throws. Okay, and then Kyler Murray. And I'm going to give Kyler Murray the more of a pass than the others. Because, not having DeAndre Hopkins, I think James Conner's hurt. So, you need those targets out there, right? Is that fair to say? But he didn't look that spectacular either. So it's the kicking game for the Cardinals, they missed an extra point, 2 field goals. Well, that was the game right there. That was the difference. And so those three teams that lost on Thursday and both yesterday keep playing like that, and you're going nowhere.
How confident are you that Aaron Rodgers is going to win the MVP? If you were to give me odds, is he 3-1? Is he 5-1? Is he 10-1? Because we got number one, he's in the MVP race. Number two, this is voting, so is he going to get any Aaron Rodgers flack?
He's going to
number
catch,
three.
He's
number
gonna
three,
Aaron Rodgers flack.
But number three, he's playing MVP football.
He is. No. He should be rated the number one player right now in the MVP race. I'm not gonna doubt that. But you are right. You're bringing up a point where I think he is gonna catch some Aaron Rodgers flack. Okay,
definitely. Yeah.
And the one that's gonna benefit the most, I'm not gonna go out and say Tom Brady, although he'll probably pick up some of that. But hey, this running back Jonathan Taylor, it seems like he doesn't even have to try hard, and he gets 125 yards rushing.
Right. If ever there was a year for a running back, hell, even a good kicker to get the MVP, they want to give the MVP away to someone other than Rodgers. This is your year. Yeah. So that Colts guy, we'll talk about the Colts in a minute.
Well, let's argue Derrick Henry, because he hasn't played since October and he's still fifth in the league in rushing.
That's pretty good too. That's not a bad argument either. Also, you can make the argument, hey, I was the MVP candidate. I leave for the rest of the season. Then my team starts stinking. Hey, who's more valuable than me?
Right.
Why not give it to Derrick Henry? His team was good, and then they became mediocre. So MVP race heating up. That might be my favorite non-football competition going right now, is the MVP race.
Not a battle, but I think you bring up a good point. Will Aaron Rodgers catch them? I was immunized flack. So
yes.
Joe Rogan's my mentor flack. That could be a problem.
Right. People are not going to give him any slack because he bucked the trend there. By the way, can I say I watched that game Christmas Day, with my family. Half my family think Aaron Rodgers still has COVID and is playing. I want to talk about the power of reading half a headline. That's half my family. They think Aaron Rodgers has COVID and spread it to the rest of his huddle, even though it was 21 days ago that we did all this. Next game, we talked Jacksonville. Quick thoughts on Philly. Philly was favored by 11, so they already were double-digit favorites. I put a big question mark by Hurts. I was surprised Minshew didn't start this game, and then I started thinking, where's Minshew going to be next year? He's a good player. There's not that many good quarterbacks out there. Somebody should get Minshew.
Oh, I'm with you on that. I'm with you. He's a solid backup. Obviously, the Eagles are committing,
and Philly's in this playoff race. They're not eliminated by any means.
Right, but they're committing to Jalen Hurts.
They are, yeah. So they've got to deal Minshew, or somebody's got to deal for him, because he's a totally adequate quarterback. We got Baker throwing 4 picks, and good quarterbacks are hard to find. He's a totally manageable quarterback, I should say.
Really are.
Next game, LA Rams at Minnesota.
Ooh, not a bad game.
I am so glad I am not a betting man, because I would have predicted that this was Kirk Cousins' coming out party game. I was like, Kirk Cousins always plays good for the good teams. He's going to come in, and we're going to have to talk about how Kirk Cousins is good. And I would have lost everything I owned if I had bet on this game.
Yeah, yeah. It's good analysis there. But hey, now the Rams are showing us something. How about that?
Rams are back. They flip with Arizona now. Now they're in the division lead. So the peaking Rams are looking very, very good, leading me to one of my many questions coming up after the games. So Tampa Bay, Carolina, I watched none of it. I don't even think they showed it on TV. All I know is Tampa Bay won by a lot of points.
The storyline there, Matt Rule, second-year head coach, he's being booed, and they were calling for his head to be fired after the game.
Again, another argument for having a name like Matt Rule, because when they boo you, you just say, no, they're not booing. They're saying Rule.
I like that. That's what you tell your owner.
Right. That's what you tell the owner. Same thing with that. Did you see that clip of the race car race where the lady's interviewing the winner, and the crowd starts chanting, fuck Joe Biden. And she says, the crowd's cheering, let's go Brandon. What an audible on the scene by that reporter.
I like that one too.
Excellent journalism, I must say. LA Chargers at Houston, arguably the biggest tumble of the day.
Biggest tumble.
was the LA Chargers.
If you want to talk about another disappointing team that just never got can we agree they just never got consistent. They never put together a string of games that would lead you to say this is the threat. Weren't we talking about this is going to be the year the Chargers are going to threaten the Chiefs?
We did. I have to admit.
Yeah, you and I, we were all about that. And
someone needs to tell Herbert that even though he's in a Chargers uniform, he doesn't have to do a Phillip Rivers impression in December and January of football. It's like you can win games.
Yeah, you got to win games.
Chargers take a hard tumble. I didn't watch Chicago and Seattle, although they win. But, the Chicago's winning games. They're never going to get rid of Matt Nagy. Let's just face it, Chicago. You're going to have Matt Nagy for 10 years. You're going to go slightly above 500, and Matt Nagy will never be fired. Remember when we thought he was going to get fired at Thanksgiving? He's still there.
That's true.
Still there. Dud of the week, Pittsburgh at KC. The Romo Nance game. Romo was bored. I don't know if you listened to it, but Romo was bored in this game. He's arguing calls. That game was another one over. The Big Ben farewell tour continues.
It's about over, bud. It's about over.
Okay, and then last game, this one is the one I need your advice on. Denver at Las Vegas. Las Vegas, we win the game. So here's my question to you. What kind of mood should I be in? Somehow Vegas is still in the playoff hunt. Should I be rooting for them to make the playoffs? Should I not watch any more games? I'm in NFL purgatory with Vegas.
I think you need to be happy. That's a tough win today. Denver has caught up on some teams this year. So it's a good win. It's a division win. It's a rivalry win. And they're still in the thick of things, so I think you should be in a good mood.
I should root for them to make the playoffs?
Why not, Pat?
All right. Well, I just don't want to be disappointed. I can't go through these ups and downs.
No. You're going to be disappointed. But they're going to disappoint you. But just, right. You can, I think like the way I'm looking at it, let's have fun and say like it's going to be fun if our teams make the playoffs.
Which would you rather have? Would you have your team lose first round of the playoffs, or would you have your team be out of the playoff race with 3 weeks to go in the season? Which would you prefer? Bad first round playoff loss, or just pack it in before the season's over?
Good question.
That's why I get paid the median bucks.
I want the playoff race.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's fair. That's in the spirit of competition. All right, before we get to the categories, I got a few questions that I want to throw at you just to get your thoughts. Okay, we had Montana to Rice. We had Aikman to Irvin. We always had Bradshaw to Swan. Brady never really had that true number 2 guy. Like I think the closest he ever had to that was Edelman. But it's kind of weird that Brady never had his receiver guy, his go-to all the time with him receiver guy. So a true solo act, Tom Brady. Unless I'm leaving anybody out, I guess you would have to make the argument that it was Belichick was his number 2.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Which makes me all the more excited for New England, Tampa Bay Super Bowl. Let's go. I'm all in, all the way. Let's go. The grudge match to end all grudge matches.
Right. Let's do it.
Okay, number 2, I have an idea for you. What do you think about the idea of a quarterback relief pitcher? So tonight, we got Dak Prescott and the Cowboys are way up. Why not bring another quarterback in, say in the third quarter? And if Dak needs to come back, he can come back. But what about a relief pitcher? We do it in baseball, and we got like shutdown relievers like Rivera was one. And they came in and you just knew the game was over. What about the idea of a quarterback reliever?
Well, but isn't that, you mean like to close the game?
Yeah, to close it out.
Like right now, like Cooper Rush playing for Dak?
Yeah, what about that? What if we have a quarterback reliever? Quarterbacks are getting hurt all the time. The season's too long. What about a quarterback reliever to take some load off their back?
Okay, that That could work.
Right? Like in another world, in another sort of era, a quarterback reliever. Like we already rotate quarterbacks in a lot with Wildcat and things like that. What about the idea of a quarterback reliever?
Okay.
Okay, number 3. Yeah, not crazy, right? It's going to take some thinking, but it's not crazy. Next topic. Where do you think Daniel Jones is in 3 years?
Selling insurance for Geico.
It's bad, right? He might not be in the league. He is not playing. He never was good. And then I think New York is seriously going to find where he lives and burn down his house.
Yeah, I don't see him being the long term. You know, the fact that they're speculating this week as to like whether him and the coach are coming back next week. Now, they said I think the rumor was they would like to bring him back, but that's not exactly a vote of confidence.
It really is not. It really is not. We're gonna we'd like to bring you back, but oh wait, your owner just liked a bunch of tweets of the city coming to your house and decapitating you, so it's not looking good. Next. Okay, here's my next observation. Does it seem to you all the years we have been watching football, we still have not figured out how to properly store the mouthpiece on the helmet? There seems like the mouthpiece, there's a million options for it. It gets dropped on the ground.
What do you like? Do you like it when it's hooked up to the face mask and it's just dangling and then they could just, move it up? Or do you like it when they put it? I just think there's no safety here.
Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah, there's the dangle one, which is probably the most secure, but it looks dorky. And then all the receivers run around with it dangling. It's not even in their mouth. It's basically the pacifier version. Then there's the single, and when they're done with it, they stick it in their face mask. So you got that. And then every once in a while, this is the one I like. One of the linemen will take the mouthpiece out and they'll put it in their ear like a pencil.
Okay.
That one is definitely a lineman move. It just is kind of weird that we have not figured out what to do with these mouthpieces when they're not in their mouth all these years. Maybe something with magnets would be good. Something. It feels like we could put some technology to this.
I'm with you on that.
Okay, and last observation. All right, I'm going to lock you up. I'm putting you in a dark room for 5 years. You're coming back out. Is it time to reimagine what exactly a catch is in the NFL? Because I don't know. If I was to tell you, hey, Omar, what's a catch in this league? I think you could figure it out if you were totally objective. So maybe we just reimagine the catch rule.
I think it doesn't matter what you and I think about it. I think basically it's what the referee thinks about it, right? I mean,
well, we lock a referee in a cage for 5 years.
We don't know what it is, but we know it when we see it. You know what I mean?
Right, and I think
I just would rather them change the rule to a catch is a catch if the referee says it's a catch.
Because I fully don't know. Here's an option. When the receiver catches it, and then they get hit right away, and the ball falls out, and they say incomplete. I always think like, okay, well, if the defender was never born, would this guy have come down with the ball? And then we go that route.
Do you recall when we were kids? Now, tell me if I'm making this up, but wasn't pass interference before the replay review hiatus that there was sometime in the 90s? Wasn't pass interference reviewable?
I don't think I remember pass interference being reviewable.
I want to say it was. And I'll look into that, but don't you think that would be something to bring back? I think that could definitely swing a game. We've seen the Saints lose a few games in recent years because I think that it would be much better to have that,
Well, if we can review stuff, why not review everything? I'm with you on that. Why are some things reviewable and some things are not? We have cameras. We have the rewind button. Why not look at all of it?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, let's go to the questions of the week. Number 1, if the season ended today, here's our division leaders. Buffalo, Cincinnati flopped this week, Tennessee, and KC. Do you think any of those teams, number 1, fall out of that division lead? Number 2, let's go through these 4 teams playoff run. Let's go. Buffalo wins the division for me. Playoff run. I think they're going to the AFC Conference Championship. Cincinnati, I see them going in the first round. They're out. Tennessee, I see going out in the first round. And KC, I could see an argument where they get to the AFC Championship or lose before it, but I think Tennessee and Cincinnati are potential first-round danger losses.
I think, you know what it is? It's because we've seen inconsistent play from those teams. So it wouldn't, and then it wouldn't shock you like if the Chargers squeak in the playoffs and they get a win. You know
right.
what I mean?
That's who will beat one of these division winners is a Chargers team.
I'll be with you on that.
Okay. Let's go NFC side. Dallas, Green Bay, Tampa Bay, LA Rams, new entrant into the division leaders here. So Dallas has got it wrapped up. Green Bay's got it wrapped up. Tampa Bay's got it wrapped up. Rams, Cardinals is the only one who may win, who may not win that division. All right, let's go Dallas. Let's have a fair and honest discussion about Dallas in the playoffs. How far are they going?
They will win a playoff game. Okay. Now, does that put them in the NFC Championship? No, because I don't think they're going to catch Green Bay for the 1 seed. It's going to come down to can they beat Tampa Bay, and it's going to be tough. I think Tampa Bay would be more scared playing Dallas this time around because they wouldn't be fully loaded like they were when they played them in Week 1. Mm-hmm. That game is starting to look to me like it could favor the Cowboys. I could see the Cowboys, as much as I hate to say this, because you know how much I hate the Cowboys. You know this.
Yes, I do.
Cowboys in the NFC Championship game against the Green Bay Packers.
Oh, okay. So that takes care of Green Bay. You've got them going to the NFC Championship. Tampa Bay losing where? First round surprise? Second round?
The division round, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Lastly, LA Rams. Number 1, are they winning that division?
They will lose to the Packers in Lambeau.
I can't wait for that game. I can see that game being great.
That could be a good game. That could be a good game.
You know what? You know who Aaron Rodgers is to the NFL? He's our James Harden. He's our James Harden who acts like he doesn't want to be there, yet he's still good and he's top dog. But yet we have so many reasons to like the people who like him absolutely love him. The people who hate him absolutely hate him. He's our James Harden.
Yeah, he's an asshole.
Wow, you could have watched the game Christmas Day with my family, no problem. You would have fit right in. We spent 25 minutes on figuring out what was going on with his hair and his potential conditioner usage. Way too early predictions. I got one. You may already be able to predict it, what I'm going to say. Brady, Rodgers, the rematch. We're going to have the rematch this year. Tampa Bay, Green Bay, the Battle of the Bays. Brady versus Rodgers, the legacy game. Loser leaves town.
On that game, I'm going to be rooting for Tampa, but it's going to be a tough one.
Okay. All right. I got a second way too early prediction. This one's a little more crazy. Next year, Russell Wilson is in a Saints jersey.
I'll buy that. That's going to happen.
Right. It's going to be totally surprising because we think he's going to go to a New York, a Vegas, an LA market, but he's going to flip on us.
Okay, I want to say
he's going to New Orleans.
I want to say New Orleans, but I don't think Vegas is out. They're definitely in the conversation.
Yeah. Well, I told you, we're going to get Trevor Lawrence in 2 years. We're going to reunite Renfro and Lawrence. We're going to have our Montana to rise, Omar. Don't deny me my dream.
Pat, you don't want that. You don't want that.
Come on. We've had a rough year, okay? Next category. Franchise, 1-year deal, or practice squad. This is a Christmas edition this year. I don't know if you're like me, but I always overeat followed by overdrink, and there's too many options. So franchise, 1-year deal, or send to the practice squad holiday drinks. The hot toddy, eggnog with rum, or excuse yourself to the bathroom and have a shot by yourself.
You always want a franchise, no matter the holiday. The excuse yourself and have a shot. That's a Hall of Famer right there. Okay, so you don't get that's the Tom Brady.
Okay.
You always want that. Okay. You can build around that. You can build a great night around that. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Right. Where do you stand on the sneak aside and take a shot in the bathroom? Would you do that early? Would you wait till something upsets you or it gets too stressful and go do it? Or would you just like, hey, I'm grabbing a shot at 10 p.m.? How would you plan that out?
I'm probably going to do it when something is stressing me, but that sounds like a problem. I probably got to talk to someone about that. But,
I'll bring my dad in next segment. He's going to come and have therapy with you.
But then the hot toddy sent to the practice squad. I'm not a hot toddy guy. Okay, I'm just not. And eggnog, well, eggnog's just fantastic. Okay.
Yeah, I agree. I've run into more than one people who are grossed out by it. I don't understand these people.
Yeah. I love eggnog.
Yeah, me too. All right. I'm glad I'm not flying solo on this one. I'm with you. I go 1 year deal. Give me the eggnog because it is a little sweet. I can't do that much eggnog and rum.
Yeah, but you really can't do a hot toddy for a whole night either.
That's why I give that one practice squad as well.
Yeah, I'm with you.
And then give me the franchise, sneak away and get a shot because that's your backup. And if anything, you can carry a flask with you. You can come self-prepared and achieve this goal. So franchise 1 year deal, send to the practice squad, Christmas, drunk party going edition. All right. Are you ready for the challenge? Because this one I'm excited about. Okay. I took this challenge myself just to test it out, but I am going to give you, I know you're a diehard 49ers fan. I know you know players. I know you know numbers. I want to see how you do on this. I'm going to give you 1 minute to name as many non-Joe Montana and non-Steve Young 49er quarterbacks. Okay? I'm going to give you a second to collect your thoughts.
Okay, I'm ready.
I'm going to give you 1 minute. I'm going to let you know I took the challenge and I got 6. So let's see how you do. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, put 1 minute on the clock. Here we go. Name as many non-Montana Young 49er quarterbacks in 1 minute. 3, 2, 1, begin.
Trey Lance, Jimmy Garoppolo, JT O'Sullivan, Tim Rattay, Ken Dorsey, Jeff Garcia, Colin Kaepernick, Alex Smith. We have John Brody. I'm going back. Steve Bono. There were some. Oh man, why am I drawing a blank? Sid Garcia or Ty. I said O'Sullivan.
You did.
Oh man. Elvis Gerbach. I think did I want to say no. Dilfer never was with us. I wouldn't have allowed that.
10 seconds.
Spurrier, I think, was a quarterback. Okay. And I'll stop there.
Time. You got 12. 12. A lot of names that I forgot about.
Steve DeBerg, I forgot. He played with the Niners.
Oh, I wouldn't have thought that. Steve DeBerg, yeah. I had, let me think of my 6. I had Garoppolo, Trey Lance, Elvis Gerbach, Steve Bono, Jim Drunkenmiller was my out of nowhere. And then I had one more. I got to 6.
There would have been Bill Musgrave.
Yeah, see, I knew you would know all these like one game starters.
Yeah.
That would pop up there. So
who was Ohio State quarterback? Troy Smith started a couple games for us.
Troy Smith, yep. Okay, you were bumping up there big time then. Let's go. The awards for the week. Sunday MVP. I'm going to throw one out at you. Carson Wentz is our Sunday MVP. Beats Arizona. All of a sudden, he's super good. Carson Wentz, MVP for the league candidate?
No.
God, he got so buried those first 4 weeks of the league.
Yeah,
no, first 6 weeks.
He's too far behind the race. I want to give you one. I know I've been big on this guy the last couple of years. Josh Allen played a good game today. And
right? He helped his case today, that's for sure.
He ran the ball, and he was smart with the ball when he was throwing it. Nice pocket presence. He threw on the run. He did everything that you would ask for in an MVP. So My Sunday MVP is Josh Allen.
Going Josh Allen. Josh Allen made a couple throws today that were out of this world. He made 2 across the body throws that were dead on. And he had a couple runs where he just bulls over dudes. He's not diving. He's jumping over them. On fire today. If Josh Allen puts another good game together next week, he could be easily could be. It's a 2-week race for MVP. Who plays good these last 2 weeks?
Yeah,
Can
for sure.
anyone dethrone Rodgers in these last 2 weeks?
It
could happen. Rodgers could get COVID twice. We could kick him out of the league and say he can't come back. So I gave Wentz my MVP. The Colts are all of a sudden good. They take down the Cardinals. So let's give Wentz a little credit. Sunday MVP to Wentz. Way too early coach of the year. And I'm just going to stick with the Indianapolis theme. Give it to Frank Reich. Give it to him.
Not bad. Not bad. And
Didn't I give it to Matt Rule like in week 3?
You did. You really did. And someone who is it's not a bad one. That's not a bad one.
Okay, who do you think? Who would you give it to?
There's so many good guys. I still think Belichick is, coached well. God, and it seems like a lot of these candidates have really come back to earth. McDermott, Buffalo. Hey, Matt LaFleur, they have the best record. LaFleur is like, he has. I think he has the most wins for his first 3 your first 3 years coaching in the NFL.
LaFleur would be good. That's not bad.
It could be him.
If they give it to the Packers coach, then that means, okay, we gave it to your coach, but we're not giving it to Rodgers.
I like that. I'll be okay with that.
Right. They'll be like, okay, you got the best guy, but all right, we'll give it to your coach. And now it doesn't look like we're so biased and skipping over Rodgers for the MVP.
And the one that I was blanking on, but now I remember McVay out of LA. That wouldn't be a bad one either.
Yeah. Okay, that's a more wide open race, this coach of the year. Way too early coach of the year. Well, we got 2 weeks to go. Legal ramifications, my favorite category of every show. All right, this week, my question for you, is there any type of case, any type of defense that is your bread and butter? Like if you see a case come across your table, did you see like, oh, I'm good at this. I'm taking this one.
I like violent crimes. I love violent crimes.
What do you mean? What do you mean you love violent crimes?
Whether it be a bar fight, a stabbing, a shooting, I love it all. I love it all.
Really?
Yeah.
What's special about those that you feel you're good at?
I don't know. I mean, it's just I'm not. Maybe it's a process of elimination because the white collar stuff. Really, I can do it, but I get bored reading all that stuff. Child sex cases, that those weigh on you mentally, and when you talk about like child porn and stuff like that, it's part of the job, but so I don't get excited about those, that's for sure. But yeah, I like the violence, the bar fights, breaking a bottle on someone's head, people taking cheap shots and fights. They can be fun.
You feel you're good at them? You feel like you can sink your teeth into a violent crime?
For
defense?
For sure.
What would be the defense? Say I got in some sort of fight or something. What would be my defense in a sense? Like, I guess it varies every time.
Well, if you're a victim, if you're the victim and say, well, this guy did this to me, X, Y, and Z to me with a gun, it's like, prove it.
Gotcha.
It is.
Gotcha. The burden of proof is always breaks down to someone yelling out from the back, prove it.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Not bad. What year of law school do they teach yell out, prove it? Because I feel that is very, very effective.
That is not for law school. That is not a law school thing. That is.
Oh, really? That's something in the trenches you learn.
That's in the trenches you learn that.
Wow. So is there any case, have you ever seen a case come across the news or national news that you said like, God damn it, I wish I could get in on that? Have you ever seen a violent crime like that?
Absolutely.
Like what?
I was so, that's why I think I was so fascinated with OJ. I mean, that's just insane. And OJ stuff, and when you talk about those, what was that student in Italy?
Oh, Amanda Knox?
And that one. I mean, those interest me. Those really interest me.
Yeah. Do you think ever one day you would become one of those legal consultants that comes on CNN, you to go back and forth with the attorney on the other side of things? I could see you being good at that.
I think I would, because unlike Tubin, I wouldn't pump off on a Zoom.
I don't know if you're like me, but sign of the times, I can only get off on Zoom now. So sorry, maybe that's more of a window into my bad psychology, but it's the only way I can do it now. Sorry, this year has affected all of us in many ways.
This is the new normal.
This is the new normal. Can we stop saying everything's the new normal?
Yeah. That's like my biggest pet peeve. Like when everyone says, "Well, this is the new normal," I'm like, "No, it actually isn't."
It's me cutting someone off in traffic. Hey, it's a new normal.
Like, yeah, you shouldn't have done that.
Sorry, it's a new normal. It's right up there with when a football team goes for it on 4th and 2, they don't get it, and the announcer goes, "I don't like the call." I was like, "Yeah, well, you know what happened, you dummy. Of course you don't like the call."
Yeah.
Monday night.
Go on.
Monday night predictions. Battle of the 7 and 7s. Miami at New Orleans. Miami's favored. Miami's favored by 3. Over under 37. Can't say I have a lot of interest in watching this game.
Well, I want to go with Miami because the fact that we heard rumors come out that the Saints approached Drew Brees these last few days and asked if he would think about coming back, and he had to send a picture of himself golfing. I'm pretty sure that means they're very desperate, and at this point, I think they're too desperate right now. And Tua, isn't he won like 7 of his last 8 starts? So
I think I saw that stat too. I didn't think the Dolphins were putting anything together yet. They've mounted their record up to 7 and 7.
Yeah, so they're good to go.
I saw that too with their coaxing Drew Brees back, and even if it's a stunt or a publicity thing, like who is not a Drew Brees fan? So of course you're going to be like, yeah, that'd be cool. So then I had another thought. Let's find a way. If I'm New Orleans, let's find a way and let's get Andrew Luck back. And let's get him as a New Orleans Saint. Number one, I think Andrew Luck has just disappeared off the face of the earth. He does no media. He's not online anywhere. He was just done with the NFL, and that was it. So maybe a couple years off, and maybe he wants to come back, because I feel like his career ended before it should have. Maybe it was injuries, maybe it wasn't, but I feel like he had a 10-year career plus. And what did he play for, 5 or 6?
Yeah.
So I say New Orleans goes and finds whatever ranch Andrew Luck is on, and we start to have the talk with him about, hey, you want to come back to the Saints?
Hey, well, that's not a bad prospect.
Better than Drew Brees.
Yeah, it's not a bad prospect.
Yeah, get him some offensive linemen, and you can come back on the team, Andrew Luck.
Yeah.
You can do some Baker Mayfield. Is that a progressive commercials? You could do progressive commercials.
I get the feeling sometimes, and you Mark, this is going to be a definite long-term plan for the Saints. I sometimes get the feeling that the Saints are going to start tanking these next few years in the hopes to get the number 1 pick the year that the Manning nephew, Cooper's son.
Long-term, yes. You see, I like where your head's at. Yes, you got to play the long game.
Wouldn't that be something?
You can see the headline now. Manning returns to New Orleans. Oh, that's it. We give them the number. Maybe they changed the uniforms a little bit that year.
I think they'd finally move out of the Superdome, as historical as it is. But they build their state of the art, the house that Manning built. That'd be something.
Oh, all right. Let's keep a tab on this for the next 5 to 7 years. See if the Manning heir to the throne can come back to New Orleans.
His name's Arch, I think.
That's his name?
Arch.
Okay.
Arch, yeah.
And he's in high school now? What's his story?
Yeah. Stud. He goes to Newman High School, which is where the Mannings, Cooper, Peyton, and Eli all went, and he's setting ridiculous records. And they say, as a prospect, the experts, they're saying that he may be more talented than any of the Mannings before him.
God, I like this. I love my long-term predictions. I love my Trevor Lawrence to the Raiders prediction. But this one might be your best one yet.
Should we get on the record and say Arch Manning, New Orleans Saints quarterback?
Right. We didn't lock any predictions in this week. So your lock-it-in prediction is Arch Manning goes to the New Orleans Saints circa 2026. And I don't know if and then my lock-it-in was Trevor Lawrence to the Raiders in the next 2 years.
Oh, okay. So we got something there.
All right. Lock it in. All right, Omar. Sunday night. The Sunday Night Talk Christmas edition. Somehow we're in the same city, but we are in different. We're still doing this online. So
yeah, I think we should shoot for one next time. I don't know. Data and I may get tested tomorrow because I'm not feeling like particularly well.
You think you got the Aaron Rodgers strain of COVID?
I mean, but I really am. I have a green card somewhere here. But yeah, I didn't want to risk anything because I'm not feeling particularly hot.
At some point during this pod, I wanted you to say you had been immunized.
Okay.
I needed you to state that for the record.
When are you leaving town?
I'm going to be here for another couple days.
Oh, well, hopefully I get tested and nothing comes of it.
All right. So good. We have some potential. So, all right, for the Sunday Night Talk week. What are we, week 37 of the league? I can't even keep track.
Yes.
Week 37 of the league. Not really, week 16 of the league. Patrick Ramirez, Omar Carmona over there. The Sunday Night Talk. Have a good night, Omar.
Peace.
Okay, that is it. That is the show for this week. Week 16 in the NFL. We've come a long way, and yet one more week to go. I feel like I still don't know a lot of stuff about teams, myself, where I'm going in life. But hey, we got a few weeks to figure it out in the NFL. What did you think about my predictions? What did you think about Omar going on a rant? What did you think about Omar's ideal defense case as well in the legal ramifications? You never know with that guy. That's why you got to listen. Don't forget, go to my YouTube page if you haven't already. There is a new stand-up clip up there of me on a show last week you should check out. It is there. Go take a look. So that was week 16 in the NFL. I hope you survived Christmas. I hope you are rallying for New Year's as well. We have a lot of celebrating still to go. So don't let up yet. Week 16 in the NFL, that was the Sunday Night Talk for me, Patrick Ramirez, and for Omar Carmona. I want to thank you for listening. I will see you next week. Bye-bye.